this rebel go.
Welcome back to the channel, my little lambs. This is your girl Hillary B. Please remember to hit that like and subscribe button. 2025 is moving fast. We're already in the month of April. And you know that can only mean one thing: Memorial season. So yes, I went back into the Kingdom Hall 1 year later. This was my first time stepping into the hall since last year's Memorial. And let me tell you, it was a little different. Not because anything significantly changed at the hall, but because my mindset is in a different place. But before I get into all that, let's talk about what the memorial actually is, what it means for Jehovah's Witnesses, and who those mysterious anointed people are that everyone gets quiet about during the wine and bread ceremony. Because if you've never been to a memorial, or if you've been to 50 but never really questioned it, we're going to talk about it today. Let's start with the basics. What is the memorial? As many of you may know, Jehovah's Witnesses don't celebrate holidays, not Christmas, not Easter, not birthdays, but the one night a year they do show up in full force is for the memorial of Christ's death. It's their version of what many Christians call the Lord's evening meal or the Last Supper. It's held every year on the date that aligns with Nisan 14 on the Jewish calendar, which means it shifts around March or April. And it's not a casual affair. I mean, nothing really is when you're going to the hall. But people dress up, there are flowers, some Kingdom Halls dim the lights, and the whole event centers around reading scriptures about Jesus' death, followed by the symbolic passing of bread and wine. But here's the kicker. Almost nobody eats or drinks, and that's because only a select few are allowed to actually eat the bread or drink the wine. But why is this? Because in Jehovah's Witnesses' belief, only a special group called the Anointed are allowed to partake. So who are these Anointed? The Anointed are believed to be the 144,000 chosen humans who will go to heaven and rule alongside Jesus. That number is taken from Revelation. Everyone else, they're a part of the great crowd, the earthly class. Their hope is to live forever in a paradise on earth. And how do you know if you're anointed? No angel visits you, no letter in the mail, no holy dove lands on your window. One day you wake up, take a sip of your herbal tea, look out the window and go, I think I'm a part of the 144,000. Because who's to say you're not? Yeah, it's that vague. And growing up, you're taught that most of the anointed were chosen before 1935. So by now, that number should be shrinking. But oddly enough, it keeps going up. So what does the organization do when their prophecy math doesn't math? They pivot. They say, well, maybe new people are being added, or maybe some of them are mentally unstable. And look, some partakers are sincere. I'm not knocking every single one. There are people who genuinely believe they're going to heaven. Cool. But what I don't like is how Jehovah's Witnesses have turned this into a quiet caste system. Now, back to the memorial. Let me tell you about my experience this year. I showed up at the Kingdom Hall with my nephew around 6:45. The parking lot was surprisingly clear and parking was easy to find. Last year it was packed because two congregations met at the same time. This year, pretty smooth. As soon as I pulled up, I saw familiar faces, and I'm not gonna lie, some of it felt good. These are people I've known all my life. They're kind, they're familiar. There's history there. And I don't want to forget to mention that I'm partially PMO. Because of my job, many do not know that I've faded away. I just use the Zoom as an excuse. I have not came out and declared to a lot of people that I'm not a witness. If you know that I no longer believe in the witness belief, that means I trust you. Anyway, one elder I hadn't seen in forever had a salt and pepper beard and all. He actually came out and hugged me. I was mighty surprised, I'm not gonna lie, because a lot of these brothers are eating these beards up and it makes them look a lot better. No shade to their looks, but the beard did step a lot of witness men game up. Anyways, he said that he was glad to see me, and in that moment, I was glad to see him too. Made very small talk, and I stayed grounded. I went inside, and since the main auditorium was full, I sat in the overflow room. But before I made it back there, a younger sister who I've known for quite a while, she's such a sweetheart, but in the past, I've personally distanced myself from her because I knew what I believed, and I definitely did not want to be an influence on her. And I don't even think that I could influence her if I wanted to, but I just didn't want to take part in it no more, so I just decided to distance my friendship with her. I'm not trying to change anybody's mind. That's not my goal, is to have everyone find their own path in life. So you guys know how it is. You haven't been around for a while and suddenly it's all, we should catch up. Then comes the, maybe we can study. So I kept that conversation light and quick. The overflow room atmosphere was chill. It was probably about 8 other people in there. When the meeting was about to start, the TV monitors were on, displaying the lyrics for the opening song. I did not sing not one lyric. I sat in the front row, and by the room being small, you could tell who wasn't singing. Yeah, I was in the front row, and so I didn't say anything. I can't sing no songs anymore. It's just, they're cringy to me now. Now my little nephew, he's just a little baby, so he started making noises during the talk, so I had to step out. And I already know how people look when a kid makes a peep in the Kingdom Hall. So I took him to the back near the restroom and waited out the rest of the talk. Eventually the plates were passed, first the bread, then the wine. Nobody partook in my room, at least. Lastly, after everything was passed, scriptures were read, then came the usual plug. If you'd like to know more, visit jw.org, join our meetings, get a free Bible study. You know the drill. You know, they said another congregation will be arriving in 30 minutes, yada, yada, yada. Say your hellos and your goodbyes promptly. You have 12 minutes to be nostalgic, and then you better skedaddle. Afterwards, I hugged some family and friends and some familiar faces. And honestly, I wasn't bitter. I wasn't angry. This year felt different. Last year, I was rebellious, frustrated, and still emotionally raw. But this year, I was free. I went in knowing exactly who I am and what I believe. I'm not confused anymore. And while I no longer believe in the doctrine or the organization, I still love many of the people. I just wish they could love me without conditions. Some asked if I wanted to go out to eat afterward. I declined. Not because I'm mad, but because it would have felt fake. How can I go eat and laugh like everything's normal when I know they'd shun me if they knew what I really believe? And that's what hurts the most. Not the memorial, not the wine, not the awkward silence. It's the fact that the religion teaches people to love you only under terms and conditions. And the whole anointed doctrine, that's just another layer in the hierarchy. Another way to make some feel chosen while others feel secondary. But I'll say this. If you're watching this and you partook because you believe you're anointed, that's your right. If you're watching this and you pass that plate and wonder, why don't I get to be close to God? Just know this. You don't need an organization to tell you your worth. Jesus didn't need a publishing company, and your spirituality shouldn't be controlled by 10 men in Warwick. So whether you're a part of the great crowd, the anointed, or like me, the faded and free, just know you're not alone, you're not crazy, and your story matters. Now, before we wrap this up, some of you might be wondering, why did I even go to the memorial in the first place? Honestly, it was for my mother. It's one small thing I can do that brings her peace. I may not believe in the doctrine anymore, and I'm not spiritually moved by the event, but attending doesn't hurt me. My mind is made up, I've woken up, I'm not blinded anymore, and I don't feel like I need to shout that to the rooftops just to prove it. I have peace within myself, and walking into that Kingdom Hall isn't going to change who I am. Also, I've seen videos of people crashing the memorial, standing up, yelling, drinking the wine dramatically, and while I understand that some people feel led to protest like that personally, that's not my approach. To me, that kind of reaction just takes the ExJw movement backwards. It makes us look chaotic instead of credible. It might get views, but it doesn't wake people up. If anything, it confirms to witnesses that we're lost or mentally diseased. So no shade if that's your lane, but that's not mine. I showed up, I sat in peace, I left with peace, and sometimes that's the loudest message of all. Well, my little lambs, that wraps this up. Thanks for listening to my memorial recap, my breakdown of the anointed, and my honest feelings from a place of freedom and healing. If this spoke to you, drop a comment, share your experience, and make sure to like and subscribe. I've got a lot more videos coming, and you already know, this is the Angry Pink Lamb, and I'm back with the truth. Till next time.
Little lamb gone broke, dancing in the moonlight glow. Little lamb gone rogue, where will this rebel go? Skipping fields, no shepherd in sight. Rebel heart beating strong under the stars at night. Little lamb go rogue,